Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is dance week for us again. I'm Kaylee, the teacher of finances, and you guys know that on Tuesdays we do mindset, so thoughtful Tuesdays. And today I want to talk about a conversation that's not always fun to talk about, but it's what we need to hear. And that's what it is. Like, we don't always like hearing things that don't fit right in our perspective. And so, I want to talk about how important it is to take into consideration those hard moments and those harsh truths and realities, and then how you can actually respond to them in a positive manner and learn from them and grow from them. So, if you're watching this live, as always, if you'll drop a one in the comments, that's awesome. If you'll drop a two afterwards, if I'm not on live stream anymore, that would be wonderful. It just helps with my engagement and it helps with allowing more people to see the content that I put out. I put a lot of work into all of this, and I just want to make a difference in your daily lives. So, just engage as much as possible. That would be super super cool. So when you hear only what you want to hear, you're not really listening, and that's like the hard, that sounds so harsh, but we're not. I mean, think about kids want to hear certain things, and they only listen to certain things. When a child asks, can I have a toy, and you say, maybe, or let me think about it, in their mind they're hearing yes. They make it out the way they want to hear it. And so listening to what you don't want to hear, and then using it in a mindful manner. So taking it and using it for the positivity, finding the positive in it and learning how to grow from it is so important. So when growth is going to happen when you ultimately start listening to perspectives other than your own. And I have said this so many different times, but mindset is everything, and our minds are so super powerful, and our minds can make or break us. And so, whenever we're only listening to what our mind is telling us, so many times we are just setting ourselves back. We are not putting ourselves in a place for growth. Growth happens when you're actually able to take in and listen to what other thing, or listen to the other things. It doesn't even have to be from another person. It could be a podcast, it could be a book. And we, in our mind, it's like we have two different people sitting on our shoulders, and we have the angel and we have the devil. Well, it's almost like the devil's the one that's just telling you, oh no, they're not right. That's not speaking to you. You don't need to hear that today. You're fine the way you are. And most times, those feel good perspectives are the ones that push us back further. So, those feel good moments, even though whenever we're going through struggles and we're going through hard times in life, those feel good moments, or those times where we're trying to make ourselves feel good in a hard time, all that's doing is pushing us back further. It's the uncomfortable moments that make us really evaluate our lives and look at things from a different lens. And I talk about being uncomfortable all the time because being uncomfortable is how you grow. And when I say grow, I'm not saying that you need to grow, to become a millionaire, or I don't know what your goals are, but all the time we all need to grow. We all need to grow our minds. We all need to continue learning. But when you put yourselves in those most uncomfortable moments, those are the first steps to the biggest growth that you're going to see in yourselves, or in yourself. When we're only accepting the good, or the parts and pieces that feel good, all we're doing is filtering out things that could potentially challenge our beliefs and situations, which then allow us to grow our mindset and inner strengths. Inner strength is crazy. It's crazy how, whenever you start feeling that inner strength and you start understanding yourself, the way that you're able to do things, whether it's be a parent, be a friend, be a employee, whatever it is, that inner strength, when you're able to actually tap into it, you can do so much more in life. So often we need to hear the harsh side of things. We need to hear someone else's thoughts other than our own, because majority of the time our thoughts are not 100% what we need for ourselves, because it's natural instinct to feel sorry for ourselves. It's so easy to fail at a task and think, oh, poor pitiful me. That is the easiest thing to do, but that's not what we need to do. That's not what gets us further. That's not what gets us closer to achieving our goals. We instantly try to justify our circumstances when in reality we really need it to hit us so hard in the face it knocks us back. Which is, again, I said this was going to be a harsh one, but we have to stop justifying our situations and our circumstances if we want to grow. To better understand the world around us, to have an open mindset, we have to hear harsh truths of our lives and our situations. And the best example I can use is with our kids. Kids want to hear all the time, I did good, I did good. And absolutely, yes, they did good at certain parts and pieces of things. But if we're constantly telling our kids that you're the best, you're the best, you're the best, how do you think that they're going to be able to survive in this world? Because their bosses are not going to tell them they're the best all the time. There's going to be times they make mistakes. There's going to be times that they don't do what they need to do. And somebody's going to tell them that. And if we don't start doing that as parents, then we're not doing our jobs the best way that we need to. We have to teach our kids that it's okay to hear the not so good moments, or it's okay to be able to accept those not so feel good perspectives. Yes, like I said, yes, we encourage them. Yes, we tell them that they did a good job in certain things, but they have to be able to take criticism. And I think that's so many reasons why in our world nowadays, you just hear people have multiple jobs because somebody tells them they did something and they needed to fix it and they quit because they cannot accept the harsh reality of it. So whenever we start listening to things that we don't want to hear, we're able to grow. It's so easy to say that we did everything we possibly could to be the best person. But if you were to step outside and you were an outsider looking into your life, do you really think that you did everything you possibly could to do whatever it is to reach your goal? Another good example I was thinking of whenever I was going through this was Kyra. We have a dance competition this weekend. We go to Fort Worth on Thursday. So when she dances, I tell her all the time, all year long, that you're the only person that allows you to be the best on that stage. Everything you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And so if we are in competition season and she has all these dances and she's not practicing them, and we go to competition and she doesn't place the way she wants to, then I'm the mom that's telling her, well, sis, you didn't practice the way you should have. You didn't put in the effort and the time like you know you should have to get what you wanted. But if I don't tell that to her, then she's a sore loser and she's upset all the time because she doesn't understand why she didn't win, because she thinks she's so good because I tell her that all the time. And I'm just not that type of parent. I don't do that to myself. I know I'm not the best at everything. I know I'm not the best as a mom. I know there's things I have to work on daily to be a better mom, wife, daughter, friend, everything. But if you really wanted to have a different life and you wanted different things in your life, then you really have to stop and look at your situation and take that constructive criticism. In my industry, I meet people all the time because we have the potential to build financial freedom in different people's lives depending on how hard you work for it. And when it comes down to it though, they don't want to put in the nitty gritty. They don't want to do the hard work. They just want it to fall in their lap. But when you get ready to explain to them that, hey, you didn't send out your text messages, or you didn't do your post, or you didn't do those types of things, that's why you're not being successful, then they just disappear. And that's hard to say. I'm not the type of person to just say, hey, look, you quit, that's why you failed. But sometimes that's what we have to say because that's what we need to hear. In order to grow and expand your knowledge and understanding, you have to be open to hearing and considering different viewpoints in life, even when it makes you feel uncomfortable and challenged. By listening to what we don't want to hear, we challenge our assumptions, we broaden our perspectives, and then we gain a deeper understanding of the world around us. It helps us grow. Now, here's the hardest part. Once you start listening to those things that you don't always want to hear, your response is much more powerful than the circumstances. So how you react in that particular situation has a greater impact on the outcome than the situation itself. So whenever you take those opinions, or you take that constructive criticism and you take it positive, now you're really going to grow. And now we're not always going to be able to control our circumstances. Of course, life happens. I get it. Been there. I feel like life happens every single day. But we have the power to choose how we respond to our situation. Our responses can be negative or positive. There's really no in between. But how you handle them will affect the overall well-being and the success that you have in your life. When you start listening to those things that you don't want to hear and you react positive, Now you're going to challenge your situation. You're going to be able to maintain that sense of control and resilience, because that's important. If you can take something in that really didn't make you feel good, but you're able to comprehend it and let it dig deep and grow from it, you're going to be able to overcome so many obstacles and achieve so many more goals. But when you respond to it negatively, now you feel helpless. Now you feel overwhelmed, which is going to lead to more setbacks and more stress. We get frustrated and offended. We live in a world full of frustrations and people being offended. I mean, think about it. We have to say no offense in front of everything, it feels like. Everyone is searching for approval. And to get approval, sometimes it takes making a huge change and sacrifices within yourself. And most people can't, they just don't understand that. So the power of our responses is going to lie in our ability to control our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. You have to remember that sometimes people, when you ask for advice in a situation, hey, I'm going through this, I don't know what I should do, this is what I've done, what do you think? You're opening the door for them to tell you what they think. But how do you control your response? Staying focused on how you react in a situation is going to help you, like I said, in so many obstacles in life. It's going to help you with that resilience. And essentially, it's going to allow you to become better personally and professionally. So just remember that more powerful than the circumstances you're in and the situations you're in, that your ability to control your thoughts and emotions and actions in a hard situation is so much more important. So listen, even if it's not what you want to hear, and then react in a manner that allows you to grow and be the best possible version of you. I'm Kaylee. I'm the teacher of finances. That's what I have for you today for Thoughtful Tuesdays. I hope that you took something away from it. If you took anything out of that, just let me know what you thought was so powerful about it. If you know someone that needs to hear this, maybe nonchalantly share it to them. Hey, I heard this really great live today. You should check it out. But I am going to do my best to be on here live this week. I have lots of stuff going on. Like I said, we're in Dallas on Thursday. We'll be back Thursday night, and then we go back again on Saturday for Saturday and Sunday dance. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have a great afternoon, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Wellness Wednesday.